All right, students, we are on week number 7, and I'm just going to start out by reviewing where you are and kind of where you should be with your assignments and how this week is a little bit different than some previous weeks. All right, so we basically have last week you had an assignment as a website discussion. Those were all turned in, so I'm going to be grading those. I can't wait to read them. This week we are reviewing chapter 7, 8, and 9. I will only be doing video on chapter 9. It's really long. It's on the law, court, decisions, and the police. I have posted the PowerPoints for chapters 7 and 8 right here, so you make sure you can get the PowerPoints on your own and get the information for the final exams there. But I will not be doing a video on them that reviews each PowerPoint. So don't forget to cover those PowerPoints for chapter 7 and chapter 8. All right, also we are going to have a number of web resources for chapter 7, one for chapter 8, there's none for chapter 9. And don't forget to read through these, because as well as the videos that I show, these can have questions that come from these resources on your exam, so do not forget to watch those. I have also listed some TASER videos that kind of go through slow motion, things like that. You have to create a profile for some of them to police1.com, and if you can't, I will be creating a video that also shows these so that you can watch the TASER videos. This week, you do have exam number 3. That is going to be reviewing, to open that, it's going to be going over chapter 6, 7, 8, and 9, plus any other topics under the briefing room and videos that I may have posted. You will have 90 minutes to complete that as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with chapter number 9, PowerPoint. And again, it's on the law, court, decisions, and it kind of goes over local court and what's going on with our local courts. All right, so the parameters of police activity are governed by not only federal laws, but state constitution, municipal ordinances, and court decisions. So in the United States of America, not only do you have laws that govern you that are the state you live in. So if you live in Oregon, you have the state laws of the Oregon Revised Statutes, but you also have federal laws, which is the United States Code, or you have local municipal codes. For example, in Ashland, there's a municipal code book, and they're generally misdemeanors. All right. Criminal law and civil law. Cops are mainly for criminal law. There is civil law. For example, I'll take the O.J. Simpson case. He was charged criminally with killing Nicole Brown, his ex-wife, and Ronald Goldman. He was found not guilty because it's beyond a reasonable doubt, and then they sued him within a civil law, and he was found guilty. Also, a lot of things that cops will respond to, landlord-tenant issues, where maybe a landlord locked a person out for not paying their rent, or if they were late on their rent by 1 day and their landlord locked them out. That's not a criminal cause, that's a civil cause, and cops don't get involved in that. Okay, if laws were written in perfectly clear language and they were simple and easy to read, they wouldn't be confusing, but they are very confusing, and they're in difficult language, and that's why there are lawyers out there and judges and prosecuting attorneys to help officers and everybody else understand the law and read through it and make sure that their understanding is the understanding of everybody else. Laws in the United States are huge and complex. They're constantly changing. For example, you have Miranda, who everybody's heard of that you have to be read Miranda. That was a case that Miranda was arrested back in the 60s for rape, kidnapping, and robbery. He went to trial. He pled not guilty. A jury found him guilty. He appealed the case to an appeals court, They agreed with the trial court and found him guilty. He then appealed it to the state Supreme Court of Arizona. They agreed with the trial court and affirmed the action of being guilty. And then finally, he took it to the United States Supreme Court, and they overturned the decision by a 5-4. So 5 wanted to overturn it, and 4 did not, but that's why it was overturned, and we have the Miranda decision. So it's constantly changing, and everybody reads those rules differently. All right, so as far as laws go, we have judgment, and every person that deals with the law, whether it be a law enforcement officer or a judge or an attorney or a prosecutor, they have to take a technical judgment on the knowledge of the law and the understanding of those principles. Luckily, the police officer is not alone in making legal decisions. Like I said, if they want to possibly arrest somebody for a felony, a lot of times before that arrest is made, they can actually go and speak to the prosecutors and even into the judge about their interpretation of the law. All right, you've heard me already bring up that there are prosecutors, and there's all different kinds. You have state attorneys, district attorneys, you have an attorney general, and they advise the police in matters of law, and they help them prepare their cases for trial. Cooperation between the prosecuting office and the police department is essential because cops are making the arrest and then the prosecutors have to prosecute those cases. So there's constant communication between the two to make sure that everything flows very well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop right here. This is the first part of the video, and I'll finish up with the second part of the video series.